man, thank you. What's up, gang? All right, it's practice night at the Perth Motorplex. It's the 8th of November. We've already done engine starts. It's been a bit of a frantic day, so I haven't had a chance to pick up a camera just yet, but we're doing an oil change right now because it was super milky, which is an awesome sign. We've not had milky fuel in a while, or milky oil in a while, pardon me. That was far and away the easiest the car has ever started. It didn't choke and bump and jump all over the place. It started smooth as silk. Idled really nicely. I'm kind of used to the car kind of throwing me around a little bit on engine starts, but this idle is absolutely mint. We had some help a couple of days ago from a veteran in the sport. He's forgotten more about sprint cars than I can ever hope to know. Changed a bunch of stuff even further in the fuel system, which I think is resulting in our milky oil. It was really nice to actually have an idle like that. Just started perfectly. It was absolutely mint. So because we haven't changed the oil in the last couple of starts, the boys are doing that now, so we'll dump some new stuff in there. Yeah, we haven't actually taken any laps yet, but I'm looking forward to it. It's always a little bit unnerving for me because I've only got about 30 laps under my belt, but I'm looking forward to it. A couple of people I'd like to thank. Williamson Motorsport, they've given me so much the last couple of weeks, but we're actually using rear tyres tonight that are, I think they might have one heat race on them that they gave to us, so shout out to them. My sponsors, OTA Logistics, Parkin Print, Mend, AdLife, and of course my absolute saviours in All Fire Garage. So yeah, I'm not going to ramble much further. I'm just super stoked on how that engine start went. That's an engine start I've been dreaming of since I got this car, so I'll check back in a little bit. Appreciate it, man. Thank you. Alright gang, I'm going to take a leaf out of T-Mez's book on this one. I'm actually going to voice over these couple of laps here. Reason being is that the forward-facing camera ran out of battery for this lap session, forgot to check it, and that's the camera that really shows just how much I was struggling with these laps. The inward-facing here, I don't think really shows just how badly I was struggling. So I went out for this lap session with very specific instructions. Go out 4 laps, get it as wide open as you can, and then bring it in, switch it off as soon as you get off the gas. The guys wanted to do a plug test. You can see in the discoloration of the tops of the plugs whether or not something is kind of lean or not. So they're basically just looking for those kind of indicators. So, but right here, I can't tell you how much I was struggling with the car. I felt like I was on skates. It just wasn't in the track at all. Didn't really feel like I could open it up at all because I just didn't know what the car was going to do next. And the reason for that is that we spent so much time fighting the engine in this thing that it hasn't been blocked or squared in a really long time. And it was really badly out of shape. It made it really, really difficult to drive, and a little bit later you'll see that we ended up paying the price for it. And yeah, it just, again, I don't think this view just really shows just how much I was actually fighting to keep this car in the track and go in the right direction. It ended up looking okay from this angle, but I didn't feel comfortable at all. So I think this is about the point. And yep, there you go. Reach for the ignition switch, just get it off. And yeah, so this is just a plug test, just to make sure that none of the bores are running too lean before we do any damage. But all signs point to things being good. So that was the end of that lap session. All right, again, quick update. We went out for a second engine start, and then we went out there for 4 laps. I was specifically told 4 laps. Open it up, shut it off, get it out of gear. The guys wanted to check the spark plugs. They want to check the injection nozzles, and I think maybe even how milky the oil is as well. So the laps were fine. Again, I've got probably less than 40 under my belt since I've had this car, so I'm not going to go out and set any track records. My first time out on any given night. But felt okay. Not super comfortable, but good enough. Yeah, it was cool to be going a little quicker again, but I'd be lying if I said it was my quickest laps ever. It was, yeah, not much to write home about. But yeah, so the guys are working at the moment. What we're going to do, last thing is just put the plugs back in, push it backwards, and kind of clear out the unburned fuel that's in the bores. Otherwise, it'll give it a big grenade on the way out there. So I think they've given me the green light for a full session of laps this time. So yeah, we'll see how we go. Thanks, Matt. Appreciate you. Alright, again, coming at you with another voiceover for this lap session here that's about to go horribly wrong. I just don't know it yet. A key thing to make note of from this night, and I know I'm making excuses here, but is the condition of the track. We thought that being a couple of weeks into the season, the practice would be a little bit quieter, not as many cars, a bit more space, and a juiced up track. Boy, were we wrong. There had to have been 50, 60 cars that showed up that night, but the big sort of contributing factor was that about 10 410 sprint cars showed up to practice and turned this track into an absolute freaking skating rink, which is not a problem. I have to learn how to drive on slick tracks. But going out onto a gut slick track with no laps under my belt for the night and a car that's not squared or blocked, we're about to learn the hard way why those two things shouldn't be mixed. And that was where our night ended. I'm sure I'll hear in the comments about all the things I did wrong and what other people would have done and what I should have done. And trust me when I say, if I could have that moment, that opportunity again, I would do literally everything differently. I felt so stupid and embarrassed, and there was no hole deep or dark enough for me to crawl into and just hide in forever. I had no idea what was broken. I didn't know if I had what I needed to fix it in my tiny little inventory of spares. And I started to think, crap, we're supposed to race in 2 nights, and I just don't think I have a hope in hell of actually making it at this point. The only thing that I can hope is, even though I drove the car back into the infield, is that there was no damage to the steering box, because I can find bird cages, I can source rods, I can find bars, but I cannot find and replace a steering box. So my mind's just racing at this point, thinking, how do I test this? How do I find out if this is actually broken or not? And I just feel like I've let down all the people that have helped me, and just think there's no chance of making race night in a couple of nights. And oi, there we go, ninja-like reflexes, even in the bottomless pit of self-despair in that moment. So I should have checked to see if the web came out of my wrist on that one. But yeah, just wanted to get back to the pits and just see what the damage was and just apologize to the team. Sorry guys.
You got spares, yeah?
Yeah, I got a beam.
Yeah, sweet. No stress.
Yes.
All right, gang. Not the sign off I wanted to do tonight, but by now you'll have seen that. Yeah, I made a bit of a rookie mistake. Tried to keep it going after I looped it, and ended up tagging the wall. Banged up the front beam, which is okay. Need a new tie rod, couple of new radius rods. But the thing that sucks is that the torsion tube on the right front side is a little bit banged up. So we're going to drag it back to the shop. We're going to have a go at straightening it ourselves tomorrow, but I'm also going to make some calls to see if an actual chassis repairer might be able to help us out on short notice, because we're supposed to be racing 2 nights from now. So, yeah, not ideal, far from ideal. I feel just kind of stupid, to be honest. I don't know why I tried to keep it going, to be honest. I should have just stopped it. Just not smart. And nobody's called me stupid for it except for myself, but just should have stopped it. In retrospect, I wish I had just done that. And I guess this is just a learning thing. It's a mistake that rookies will make, and unfortunately I got bit on this one. So we'll try and turn it around, see if we can't get it fixed up, and we'll, already a few people have already reached out offering, see if they've got tie rods and radius rods and stuff. I'll need a new torsion bar too for that one there, because I obviously don't want to put a banged up one straight back in there. So. But yeah, not the night that I wanted. But hey, the good news is that the engine runs amazing. Really good tune. If you could probably argue we're getting too much fuel now, which is a lot better than having not enough. So okay, so thank you OTA Logistics, thank you Mend, Ad Life, Parkin Print, who's been there from day one, and he's standing right there. I do this all the time, but I'd have packed it in long ago if Cameron from All Fire Garage didn't reach out to me and do what he's done for me the last 6+ months. So yeah, good news is engine's great. Bad news is I've got a little bit of work to do over the next 48 hours if we're going to race. So, but thank you to the Diamond Dogs. All the names that are on this car, they're on there for a reason. Wouldn't be able to do it without them. So yeah, thanks for checking it out. Appreciate it. Till next time. Bye for now.